One person asked a theologian at one point, why does God allow bad things happen to good people? And he replied, I've never met a good person. The only good person that ever lived was strung up and killed on a cross. There are no good people. Now, I know you hear me say that, and you say, yeah, but except for me, except for my grandma, except for whomever, it doesn't matter. No one is good. That's the teaching of the Bible. I also think that's the teaching of history. That's the teaching of psychology as well. Think of Nazi Germany, 6 million Jews alone, plus 5 million others. Roman Catholics, the handicapped, homosexuals, gypsies. Hitler's Third Reich just went right through, wiped out millions of people. That's Germany. The Soviet Union in the gulags there, so hard to tell. How do you tell? 20 to 50 million? It's not like they kept records, but they killed. This was tyrannicide. This was, I can't remember the term, where a government kills its own people. The government was actually killing its own citizens, 20, 50 million. China, conservative estimates of Mao's revolution, 30 million were killed. Or the rape of Nanking, which I don't even want to speak about in public. If you'd like to look into this, go home and Google the rape of Nanking. 300,000 Chinese were killed by the Japanese, but the acts that the Japanese did against the Chinese are so despicable, so abhorrent, I can't even speak about it in public. Now, that's Germans, Russians, Chinese, Japanese. We could go through one after the other. Every culture on earth, we see this without fail, all over the place. And here's the scariest part. You look at that and you say, yeah, the Germans. Yeah, typical Germans. The Soviets, the communists, yeah. Here's the scariest part. These were people just like you or me. You know, a word I hate, I absolutely abhor, is the word inhumane when people talk about genocide. Inhumane? No, this is perfectly humane. This is precisely what humans do. What else do you call it, sociologically speaking, when you see case after case after case after case throughout history, in every culture, in every place, where humans do malicious, malignant things to one another? You call that human behavior. That's what humans do. But here's the scary part. That means that's you too. Hannah Arendt, she is a political theorist. She wrote about Adolf Eichmann, who was one of the Nazis who gathered up just hundreds of thousands of Jews for the concentration camps. She said Adolf Eichmann, when he was captured for war crimes, was neither perverted nor sadistic, but terribly and terrifyingly normal. What about Elie Wiesel, one of the Holocaust survivors, Nobel laureate? He said Eichmann was an ordinary man. He was an exemplary father, a considerate husband. I was shaken by his normal appearance and behavior. Harold Veltzer, a German social psychologist, as we look at the perpetrators of genocide and mass killing, we need no longer ask who these people are. We know who they are. They are you and I. I got these quotes from Clay Jones. He studied genocide for his book, Why Do Bad Things Happen to Good People? And he said, reading 20, 30, 40 books, scholars of all disciplines and stripes, all of them, without a doubt, said that the people that committed genocide were average human beings. That's what humans do to each other. Alexander Solzhenitsyn, one of the Nobel Prize winners, he says, just so we don't go around flaunting too proudly the white mantle of the just let everyone ask himself, of the just, let everyone ask himself, if my life had turned out differently, might I myself not have become just such an executioner? It is a dreadful question if one answers it honestly. Michael Ruse, agnostic philosopher, he says, I think Christianity is spot on about original sin. It's amazing. Our theologians don't believe in this. We got theologians who are Bible believers. They don't believe in it. Michael Ruse believes in it, though. How could one think otherwise when the world's most civilized and advanced people embraced that slimeball Hitler and participated in the Holocaust? The Germans were sophisticated, cultured, Western people. They're not some strange breed that were teleported from a different dimension. They were human beings. That's what humans do. What about psychology? The Stanley Milgram experiment at the university, or Yale University, back in the 60s. They had a teacher and a learner in separate booths, and the teacher was the subject, and the learner was the actor. You've probably heard of this study, but flatter me here. Okay? The experimenter here, he's urging the participant to keep going, to shock the fake test subject behind the screen. And the subject, who's like you or me, brought in for some kind of a scientific study, we don't know what it is, the subject keeps pressing the button to give the shocks. And this goes up to 450 volts. The numbers on the levers that shocked the person went until it had a skull and crossbones. And every time the person would shock the person on the other side of the screen, the actor would scream in pain. Okay, he was an actor. He wasn't actually shocking the guy. So the first shock, administer the shock, please. Zzz, ow. Administer the second shock. Zzz, ow. Administer the third shock. Well, this got all the way up to 450 volts, and the actor on the other side could have won an Emmy and was saying, please don't do this. Please don't do this. You're going to kill me. Stop. Please stop. I'm dying over it. I'm going to die if you do it one more time. I've got a heart condition. I'm going to die. And the teacher, the scientist in the white coat, said, I will take responsibility. It's not your fault. Press the final lever.
Hi, everybody. I hope that you're enjoying the content and the videos here. If you're looking to help us in any way, there's one way that you could, which is to like and subscribe to the channel below. Hope that you would. Thanks so much.
65% of these people pressed the final lever. They thought they were killing the person. They've redone this study in Germany and in other places. 85 to 90% press the button. If somebody in a white coat tells you, press the button to kill the person, I'm not responsible, you're not responsible. Just following orders. Sound familiar? Now, some people will say, still, even though the Bible says that all people are fallen, and even though history shows us, and sociology and psychology, I know that's all against me, but I just know if I was in that booth, I wouldn't do that. You know what we call that? Self-righteousness. That is the worst sin of them all. And so that's pride. That's the original sin. Okay, these human beings are just like us. Now, if we turned out evil, people would say at this point, isn't it God's responsibility that we used our free will to become such malicious murderers and such fallen people that would commit genocide? See, isn't that something that someone who's very fallen would say? So you got me, you skewered me, okay, I guess I am the problem. The problem of evil, what is the problem of evil? It's me. That's the problem. Okay, you got me. However, who gave me my free will? God. God gave it to me. So he must be the problem. No. There's no. Free agency means that is the first cause. Like, okay, you look at this right here. Hate to see that. This car, guy gets behind the wheel, drinks 12 beers, rams it into another car, kills the person. Who's responsible for that right there? Is it the drunk driver? Or is it Ford Motor Company? Well, if Ford didn't make that car, man, I never would have gotten drunk and gotten behind the wheel and killed that person. True. But who is responsible? If free will is truly free, that is the first cause. So to speak of a cause before the first cause is complete and utter nonsense. Free will is the origin of evil. And if you have free will and use it in that way, you are the one who is culpable. The user is responsible for their freedom, not the giver. Let me give you a couple of examples. Axes. If I give you an axe, is that good or evil? Well, axes can be good for chopping firewood, bad for chopping off people's heads. It's the user of the acts, not the giver of the acts. What about a pen? Well, you could write a pen or use a pen to write a sonnet. You could also use a pen to write slander. We should get rid of pens, because really it's the pen company's fault because of the slander. Okay. What if you were given an incredible intellect? Well, that'd be great. You could use that to solve crimes or maybe to solve and cure a disease. Or you could use that intellect to rob a bank. Well, we should just get rid of smart people, right? We should just get rid of them. Everyone should just be dumbed down. No, see, in each of these cases, the user is responsible, not the giver.
Hi, everyone. I hope that you're finding the content useful. If you want more, you can go over to evidenceunseen.com, where you'll find a complete verse-by-verse commentary on the Bible, as well as a library of video courses that are perfect for personal growth, as well as for small groups. Hope that you find them useful.